What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Against the Flow. This is a podcast for music producers, artists, creatives, entrepreneurs, and anyone doing anything extraordinary in life. This is your host, Yenoh Sounds, and today I'm going to be talking about extra skills for producers. So without further ado, let's get into another episode of Against the Flow. Alright, so we are live with the 35th episode of Against the Flow podcast, and today we're going to be talking about extra skills for producers. I want to talk about this because this is one of the things that I had to come to terms with and just accept after being a producer for so long. It's not enough just being a producer. And what do I mean by that? Let me explain. In the beginning, I thought I would just make great music and the streams, touring, merch, fans, money would just come rolling in. But that's far from the truth. And trust me, I've learned the hard way. I went through it. I began to realize that in order to grow to the point where I actually wanted to be in regards to streams, revenue, fan base, I had to put out content. I had to make artwork. I had to network. I had to learn video editing and so many other things. But the point is, I had to do more than just sit behind a computer and make music. So I started to host my very own podcast, which is the podcast you're listening to, post-produce podcast episodes, creating content on various social media platforms, including YouTube, which allowed me to learn filming and editing videos, created my own website, started learning to network, and pitching my guests to be on my podcast. Now, I'm not saying that you specifically have to do all of these things, but now if I were to introduce myself to somebody, or if I had an opportunity to work on a project, I'm knowledgeable in all of these things. I've done it. I've been through it. I've been doing it. I can do multiple things aside from just being a producer. And that is the thing that makes me super valuable. The way I think about it is, if you want to build a team of producers, you had to choose between two people. Let's call them person A and person B. Person A can only do one thing, which is produce music. I mean, you're building a team of producers, so that is the minimum requirement. And so that person can only produce music. They don't really know how to take pictures, or they don't really know how to do this or do that. So it's just like a one-trick pony. But person B is somebody that can not only produce music, but they can also edit videos for content, ads, promotion. They can take pictures, and they can do graphic design work. Now, thinking back to yourself, which person would you be more likely to choose? I'm pretty sure most of you, or pretty much all of you, would probably say person B. Why is that? That's because person B has a lot of other skills that can provide you with value. Person B is way more valuable. Sure, they both can produce great music, which is the bare minimum. But person B has so much more to offer because of their skill and knowledge and many other things that they can contribute and bring to the table. My point is, be that person of value. Be like person B. Be the type of person that you would personally want on your team. Think of it on the receiving end. As a recruiter, you would want the person B. So be that person. And of course, it's not going to be easy, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. I didn't even start taking content seriously until the beginning of January of 2020. That's literally 7 months ago. But because I made time to actually learn all of these things, it makes me more valuable as a producer. I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of skill that I can talk about on my podcast. I have a lot of skill and knowledge that I can provide for people and other producers. And the great thing is, you don't have to learn all of these skills at once. Just go at your own pace. Take the time and learn and actually apply these skills. And over time, you'll definitely see yourself improve, which can apply to really anything. And again, you don't have to do everything that I'm doing, but you can do many other things that will actually benefit you. So with that being said, I'm going to list a few things that you can do aside from just producing that will help you become more valuable and can contribute more to the table. And you can pause this and take notes if you want to. So I'm about to tell you a list of things that you can do. Create content, start a YouTube channel, DJing, make sample packs or presets, or make MIDI packs, or any loops or anything in that realm. Start a podcast, start a vlog channel, start a blog, learn video editing, learn photography, designing website, designing logos, start a Twitch live stream, learning another instrument or relearning an old instrument, networking, marketing, Facebook ads. And those are just a few things that can help you get started. But the list is just endless. You can do so many things aside from producing that will actually help you grow your brand and make you more valuable. And you can learn a lot of life lessons from everything that you're doing as well. For example, video editing, it taught me patience. Video editing takes a really long time, and you kind of have to get in there, deep in your knees and get your hands dirty with that. And it does take a long time, so that taught me patience. Filming a podcast, it makes me think of ideas to talk about. I mean, some podcasts I plan, but the ones with my guests, I don't really plan. I have some kind of guide or an outline, but stuff like this, I kind of have like a theme or some topic that I want to talk about, and I kind of write out some bullet points. So this taught me to critically analyze, go back in my past, and dig up some value, some knowledge that I can contribute to everybody listening. So learning all of these different skills besides just producing music, you can actually bring yourself a lot of value and teach you some life lessons as well that you can apply to music production. And again, I just listed a few that is a good idea that you might want to look at, something that might interest you, but you don't know until you try. But just because what you're wanting to do isn't on the list that I gave you or the list that I listed, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Of course, by all means, you should. I was just giving you a list of suggestions to give you ideas. Maybe it can spark some inspiration. Maybe you can even merge two of the ideas together and make something unique, make something cool. And for those who aren't already working on building a new skill, the one thing I can say for beginners especially is to be patient and be consistent. You're not going to be good at playing that instrument at first. You're not going to be good at marketing. Your Twitch live stream isn't going to have a lot of viewers. But with patience and consistency over time, you'll definitely see improvement. It's definitely hard at first, but for sure not impossible. So just to recap today's episode, as a music producer, it should be in your best interest to pick up a new skill because it will help you become more valuable than just being a producer alone. And again, not only will this add value to you being a producer, but this can add value to your own personal life. You can take some of the lessons that you've learned, going through these trials and errors, trying something new, going into uncharted waters, and even learning about yourself. And by doing so, by learning a new skill, once you're presented with an opportunity, you'll have the knowledge and the skill, which then can lead you to greater opportunities. And when you're first starting a new skill, realize that it will require patience, consistency, and within time, you'll make a lot of progress and you'll eventually get to where you want to be. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, found some value in it. Make sure you leave a rating and a review so that I know that you're enjoying my content. And also don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so that you'll be notified every time there's a new episode posted, which is weekly. So again, thank you for listening, and I just want to leave you with one last reminder. Today is your day, only if you make it. Have a good one.